Look at this. Look at this. Go ahead. This is gonna be a comedy. People said they wasn't really seeing our handshakes, but
We're gonna do it right now.
all right.
Hello. Welcome. This is episode 4 of Space Deep Out Presents. Episode 4, as you will be able to see on the teleprompt, what is entitled, and for us, it's entitled Triple A. Anguish, Accountability, and Affirmations. And this is like our heart-to-heart episode where we will touch base on a lot of the things that we've been through, how we dealt with them. We're going to be open and honest with each other today, as well as the rest of the world, talking about some things that we went through, just to go over how we were able to cope with it, the resources that we know and we can help you with if you're going through the same thing, and just to show a different side of us, as we try to be original and come out with different things, views, episodes to resonate with a general audience, I guess you could say. So before we get into the actual episode, we will be touching base on sports. A lot of big sports going on within the NBA world, as well as, movies, the movies that we saw, the entertainment industry. I mean, the biggest thing that we're going to talk about is the BET Awards.
BT.
So we're going to be definitely looking into that, talking about that and everything. But before we get into the dynamics or the minutia of what our show is entailed today, let's go over the basics. If you are brand new to this channel and this is the first time watching, you are or would be considered a Smartian. And for those Smartians who've been with us since day one, watching our promos, shout out to Funny Boy Quill, who always look out for us, or just going on, clicking that link in the YouTube bios and our stories on the page to go watch our episodes and identifying whether I'm your staff or I'm your dean, or is this your climate manager. Regardless of it, we appreciate you guys, Smartians. So this is a podcast entitled Space the Fuck Out. And basically it is two gentlemen who are educators working in this field where we give back constantly, education wise, emotional support wise, just being male figures in the community. Whereas though we talk about a whole bunch of different things. We talk about everything from education to sports to entertainment to movies to music to the things that we find funny, things that we do, world travels, fashion, all of that. But we also come from a place of genuine and authenticity when it comes to the emotional support that we can have for it, whether you're going through anxiety or whatever, in the mental health aspect of it. We've both worked in that field before, and we have a lot of great friends, our World Travelers group, that helps us to, generate new ideas and come up with things to be able to support you guys. So if ever you in the need of feeling more support, having ideations, or anything that can be jeopardizing to yourself or a family member, you can try to reach out to us. We will be there to support you. But that's basically what this channel is about. Just two educators turned friends who are now in a world of a podcast, to where we have an amazing space, the Philly podcast space, where we just talk about our ideas, we have fun, and we try to meet you where you meet us at. So with that being said, welcome to Space the Fuck Out. Right now we could do introductions. Would you like to go first?
I did not plan any introduction today. Be honest. Just came back, like literally got off work, hurry up, changed, walked the dog, came to the studio, But like, this is my right hand man, one of my right hand mans. And as you know, we're not matching, but we are matching. You'll get the gist of everything. But this is the assistant right here, my right hand guy, and my brother at the end of the day. I did not plan the whole entire speech, but again, this is the man with the plan, my partner in crime, and we are here to break down barriers And again, we really appreciate all the support that we have been getting over the last episode. Again, our first episode this season has been just like doing amazing. And second episode and third episode picked up the momentum. We're going to keep picking up the momentum, and thank you for the engagement. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Appreciate y'all. And this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the assistant. So like, shout out to you, my brother.
Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Now, my turn.
And of course he playing something so I can feel bad about myself.
He already knew this was happening, so it ain't even, to the right of me. It might be your left if you're watching this, Martians, but to the right of me, I have an artist, a songwriter, a musician, an entertainer, a black man in this cruel, cruel world, aspiring to get his master's and in the very near future, and he's going to get it.
I'm working on it.
A lifesaver, no Diddy, but he is a lifesaver and always comes through in more ways than one, especially for me this week. A genuine friend who at the drop of a dime comes through, will always come through. The climate manager ranked #1 in all of South Philly schools, and that's a fact. A world traveler,
No Fendi.
a moviegoer, Mr. Baltimore two-step himself, nicknamed R&BE for his ear and his great talents when it comes to music. Mr. Mocha Jordan 1s himself, because he loves Jordan 1 mochas. That's what he wears all the time. One of the most competitive guys I know. What's that?
My go-to shoe.
Go-to shoe. It used to be the Dunks. High top Dunks. One of the most competitive guys I know, and even in defeat, he'll find a way to say somebody else cheated him and how he really won. The Kingpin, aka The Kingpin, who has an album out on all streaming services. Space the fuck out. All streaming platforms, entitled Sounds of a King. The guy who also has Coco Jones in a chokehold. And if you don't think so, her last video, she gave him a shout out. You just gotta listen to what she said. She was saying, "Ee," but you gotta listen to it. To my right, this is the man, The Kingpin, who is also a big figure when it comes to this podcast and helped everything come to fruition. And when I'm stressed out and going through something, he pushes me to get me where I need to be so that we can push each other to new heights and elevate ourselves. Elevate. You know about elevate, right? That's why I
wanna elevate.
That's why I appreciate you.
Elevate. Don't want to be a dead body. Want to elevate. I want to elevate. I want to elevate. Don't want to be a dead body. Want to elevate.
All right, so we can start with the sponsors. All right, so as with every episode, we always look for sponsors, and soon, maybe soon, one day, Parrot Bay will be a sponsor for us. And if so, that'd be amazing. We look forward to that. We are open to more sponsors and, suggestions. If you like, comment, or subscribe, put that in the comments. Talk to us. We can figure out if you know some people who would like to be sponsored, local Philly artists. Right.
Hit us up.
Everybody.
Like,
and Wawa.
Wawa.
Where we spend the most money at. King of Pressure Mall. It don't matter. Nike for sure. But we are sponsored by ABL Catering Services. The 4th of July is coming up. Holidays, summer breaks, and all of that type of stuff. So if you need any type of catering or any type of food, meal preps and everything, go to ABL Catering Services. The link will be in our breakdown of this episode. Other than that, talk to me nicely. Would you like to start it off, or you want me to go?
I'm gonna let you go and then I go.
Talk to me nicely. So with this, we do 3 feelings, a dream, and a goal. My 3 feelings. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I plan on picking up the energy, so just bear with me. But the 3 feelings that I'm feeling right now is defeated, inadequate, and blessed. How can you have 2 negatives and a positive? Well, 2 negatives do equal a positive, but defeated because of a lot of the things that I've been going through. And I'm not saying that everybody don't go through stuff, but at this point, at this tenure in my age, I felt as though I should not be going through this, and I had higher expectations for myself. And to have as much as I've had and to be at a level where I'm at, but to not be able to look in the mirror and be happy with myself, I don't want to be content ever or complacent. So that made me feel defeated. Inadequate. I felt inadequate, or I feel inadequate because I know myself too well to know, all right, buckle down, cut the bullshit, get out of this sunken place, I guess you could say. And it just hasn't happened yet, and it hasn't clicked. And I know what I normally went through or would go to get myself out of this space in the past, but right now that just hasn't been there yet. So I'm trying to find that motivation. And I feel blessed because of course, God waking me up every day. I'm on the right side of the dirt. I could have it worse, but I don't. Have a roof over my head. I have a support system, including you, mainly Bianca and Charlie and Regina and my family members and friends who really, get me to where I need to be. No matter how much bullshit I go through, I know that I can holler, scream, cry, want to kill somebody, but you guys keep me level headed. Um, a goal, ultimate goal is, as always, to continue to lose weight and to take this podcast and this platform to the next level for the freedom. I'm just going to generalize it as freedom. And a dream of mine is hopefully the dream that I have tonight, where my grandmother, my abuela who passed away, gets to visit me and we can have that talk. Maybe that's the, motivation I'm looking for to get me back on track. You go.
That was great. I would say exhausted. It's my summer off and I feel exhausted. So again, I had to pick up a second job. I need the funds. Nowadays you need 2 jobs to make ends meet and just to do the things that you want to do. So picked up a second job, so exhausted with life things as well. I would say in a way confused, where I'm at in my life. I don't feel like things are aligning where they're supposed to be. And I'm trying to juggle or trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. And I don't know if I'm supposed to, we always have these timestamps. Women be having these timestamps, but I also feel like men have their own timestamps on, hey, like I'm this age, but I should be having this or I should be doing this by this age. And, I sit back and reminisce and be like, damn, like I see other people my age doing X, Y, and Z. Why am I not there yet? And in fact, social media plays a big role in it, but I also feel like, I feel lost in the sense of I felt like somebody's pulling me this way, somebody pulling me this way, somebody pulling me this way, and I don't know which way to look. And I'm juggling all this while trying to complete my master's degree. I'm 3 classes in, but I'm also exhausted.
Gotcha.
It's just like, yeah. So, and the other one is, again, I used this last week, but I'm also like, I'm hopeful. I don't dwell on stuff that I'm going through because I just got to keep pushing, because of course there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. So I just got to, again, keep pushing, hoping that, and what number I have been seeing so much, like this has been going on for the past couple months. No cap. 11/11.
No Chris Brown, even though I heard that concert was amazing.
Yes, we can get to that. 11/11. I've been seeing that so often. I feel like it's a sign. So I just, I see it as a good sign. So I'm just hoping that, something will come of this. Something will come up to, put me ahead of where I'm supposed to be and to hopefully elevate those around me, as well. A goal of mine is financial freedom.
Yes.
And to have multiple incomes. I do not want to work until I'm 65. I just don't see I will work. I'm not a lazy ass nigga. I will work. you know me. I love a check. All about the coins. I love to work. I would take my ass to work than to be sad or crying in what did Future say? Crying in Nissan or whatever, whatever. I'll cry in my Nissan. Fuck, I don't care. I won't be crying in my Nissan. I'll be at work getting the cheddar, but yeah, financial freedom. So I'll say those three things, and you know, I feel like there's been a lot going on for the both of us, but we're gonna keep pushing and keep elevating, our lives, our podcasts, and just keep pushing. It's funny because, like, in this group chat with, a group of my friends, Eddie from Maryland and stuff like that. Eddie was throwing shots at people, but I ain't feel like engaging in it because I'm so drained. Like, you know how petty mixed with petty, you can be petty, you can have your jokes, but I'm not like in the mood with the jokes. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not in the mood. I'm in a way too emotional right now. I'm gonna take everything offensive. I'm just tired. So I'm just, sometimes, as adults, we gotta take a step back and just keep pushing.
Right, and
I love y'all, and be more. Y'all know I love y'all.
And appreciate in the moment, not to keep throwing, sounds of a king, elevate and appreciate, but appreciate the moment in which we, as long as our dreams align, then we know what we're focusing on, so that when we do get to that place, and we've talked about it multiple times, what's going to happen if we ever get to a place to where as though we are like, Wallow and Gilly, and we make it to the top, or any other successful podcast or whatever. When we get to that place, how will we act? How will we change? And of course, that's where the affirmations come from, the accountability. But we got to go through the anguish to which we're going through now, with the ups and downs of realistic life. And that dream might be far-fetched. Dreams do come true, so we just got to keep fighting for it. But we all got the same 24 hours in a day. So if we choose to waste it, that's what's going to happen. Like you said, you're not going to waste it. You get into the money, you getting a job, and I also applied to the same places.
Hopefully we both there, right?
Hopefully we both there again. Bad Boys for Life.
Literally.
One of the best movies out.
Literally. And consistency is key. So we just got to keep pushing. And I'm going to throw this out. Shout out to you, Mo, for not answering my phone call the other day. But yeah, I had to throw that out there.
That's shady, Mo. I'm not even gonna say your whole last name because I know it, and the big is with AB. But that's shady, Mo. But if you some sneakers, you would answer. But I ain't gonna talk about that right now, Mo. It's cool.
But I know we all got. I get it. We all got
stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going. Everybody got their lives.
Did he get married yet?
No, he didn't get married. He did get engaged.
Shout out congrats,
shout out
Mo.
to my friend Mo, and Cassie for getting engaged. Shout out to y'all again. I love that a lot of my friends are like married, and with a significant other. So continue doing great things. I love it. I love it.
With that being said, it was a little emotional. We went down that trail, and we can, get back to that when we come around third base. But right now, let's turn our energy up. Let's really, get in the mood to talk about some things. So normally I'm not going to be like Tank with fishnet beaters on and start screaming and hollering, but let's shout out to Brickle. Let's turn it up a notch. So sports wise, Philadelphia, you got a lot to cheer for this year, and I'm looking forward to it. Campaign, please send some more of those tickets through so I can be sitting courtside, buddy. But I'm looking forward to it. The Sixers got Andre Drummond. A center, gave him a couple dollars. He's a hell of a rebounder. He's a big man. He can help when Joel Embiid goes on to the bench. So that was big. I wish the Lakers got him. And I mentioned this before, how the Lakers should have got him. Then they got Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon was a great player. He's a shooter. He's a veteran. In Indiana, he was the man to me. I've always been a fan of Eric Gordon. And they signed him as well. A big acquisition. Buddy Hield is a free agent. Hopefully they sign him again because he is a shooter as well and he can help elevate the Sixers. But the biggest news that came today was Playoff P, PG-13, Paul George, one of the perennial all-stars and superstars in the NBA, signed a 5-year, $210+ million contract with the Sixers, and he is now coming to Philadelphia. This takes them to the next level. And my barber, my cousin Twan Design, we talked about this just a week ago in the shop, as if Paul George came, how that would elevate the Sixers so much for when Maxey is, might be hitting the wall or tired, or Joel Embiid is, sick and not playing well. Paul George could take over and elevate, and everybody else around him can contribute. So Sixers made some big changes. I don't think that they're done. I think they're going to get one more piece. They re-signed Kelly Oubre, and they got a lot of, vital pieces coming back. So that's what's up. But Sixers made a big push this year for the playoff run. And if everybody's healthy, they can compete with Boston, who just won a championship. Once again, shout out to Boston. Last episode, we talked about them winning it for sure, and they did. The Eagles made a whole bunch of strides and everything. The Phillies are starting to roll or whatever. So you know how you are about these Philly teams with these parades and all that. It's looking good.
My ass always look forward to the day offs. Of course. It's funny because Eddie hit me up probably last week and sent me a picture of a jersey, a Philly jersey. He said, I got more jerseys because even though Eddie lives in Baltimore, he represents all Philly teams. So I have no jersey of anything of Philly. So I need to step it up.
Well, time out. What's your principal? Because I need you to watch Principal. You promised this man the AJ Brown jersey.
She did. Principal McKenna. Oh my God, I shouldn't have said her name. All right, Principal. I already said it. It's cool.
You said, well, I ain't hear you say nothing. Nobody. I ain't hear nothing. Did y'all SMARTIANS? Nope. Principal. Integrity. That's what he said.
I didn't say anything inappropriate, so I'm just saying you did promise me a jersey.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown for sure.
So let's make it happen. But no, that's what's up though. And we'll get you there. No worries.
We'll get there. I be contemplating on if I want to spend $150 on a jersey or get 3 shirts.
We got to hit him up with Fanatics. Fanatics, I bought a lot of jerseys from you guys. Real. Season 1, I had a lot of jerseys on throughout our episodes that came from Fanatics, so we could get a sponsorship. But he's going to get his first jersey from you guys, Fanatics. So
and hopefully I get it signed. That would be
even better.
If I get a AJ Brown jersey, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who in the Phillies to get a jersey for. But I'll get a Phillies jersey. I would love to get them signed and get them framed. That would be the ultimate goal. But
other than that, sports-wise, we talked about it. You heard about it. We've been leading up to this since last year, since season 1, when it came to Bronny, and his aspirations for the NBA. With the 55th pick in the 2023-24 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Lakers selected Bronny James as their pick. And, of course, nepotism, as we spoke about, and a lot of hate, a lot of, but why, blah, 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 blah. As I had a conversation with you about briefly and my barber, I feel like this. As a black man in this world, as much of a struggle as it is as a black man in this world, LeBron James put what he was supposed to do, his legacy, his name, and everything on the line so that he can be able to stay relevant, stay healthy, and stay at the top of his craft in order to play with his son. His lifelong dream and goal. He didn't care about all the things that he got, his championships and all of that. He's going to win the gold medal this summer because the team is stacked. And because of this motivation, he's going to keep padding his stats to be number 1 with everything.
Right.
And the first father-son duo on the same team. I don't care what Rob Pelinka said. I don't care what JJ Redick said. LeBron did what he had to do to get his son in the NBA. That's the most important thing to me. Shout out to them for that.
You're absolutely right. And I think I said this before, and I think regardless of the situation, I know that, Bronny is trying to carve a lane for himself.
Correct.
I don't think he's trying to be the next LeBron. He's trying to be the next him, the next Bronny. Like, yes, he's part of his dad's legacy. And I think this goes back to, sometimes I have to self-reflect on certain things because I remember back then I felt like athletes shouldn't get paid, Not everybody is an athlete. You know, not everybody is an athlete, but there's a lot of people out here who want to attend college, who do go to college, who don't have the funds. So why do, you know, I feel like going to school for free is already a advantage in itself, right? But now I understand that these schools be making so much money off people, and it's like, if I'm busting my ass doing X, Y, and Z and bringing money to this, bringing money over here, bringing money over here, and I am putting in the points, why shouldn't I get paid, right?
Right.
So sometimes, like, and that was my viewpoint when I was in college. I have a different mindset right now, so I understand why athletes should get paid, you know, and I understand, like, even now where this mindset where I'm at now is, I understand, like, as adults, and, you know, once we have kids, we want our kids to have those connections or be the connection for our children, you know. And I know that everybody's not in a position to put their kids through, or in a position to what we say, nepotism, or, you know, giving our kids the envelope where they don't have to struggle. And I think that's very important, especially in the Black community, where, you know, in order to leave and lead a legacy, we have to pass it on to our children, right? We want, if I know your child go to, if I know you work at a private school, right? And my good friend is CEO of a private school, why not use that connection to get my son or daughter into that school?
Correct.
That's just how it happens. And it's not what you know, it's who you know. And until the world start realizing that, everything is based off connections. It's not, you could be the smartest person in the world with no connections. You know, you have to, you only as good as your connections.
Correct.
So we have to, like, stop trying to downplay what LeBron is doing, because it happens everywhere. And it's not like a LeBron thing. It happens everywhere in the industry. You can see it in the music industry. You can see it in sports. You can see it in businesses where, you know, sometimes, you know, the dad owns the business and they give the business off to their son, not the person who's been working 20, 25 years. Sometimes they be guiding their son for 10, 15 years behind the scenes to lead the business. It all factors in. And I feel like it goes each and every way. And there's nepotism in every single thing, in every single business. And just to hold LeBron to the point was like, oh, he only got it because of his dad. No, he got it because he worked hard for it, and it's probably based off LeBron's connection. But at the same time, what's wrong with that? It's nothing wrong with that. And at the end of the day, he's gonna prove to be a force in the industry with his own name. And of course, they're going to compare him. Oh, LeBron, he's not his dad. Yeah, he's not his dad. So let's stop the comparisons now, right? You know, but I wish them both the best, and hopefully the Lakers have a great season, because everybody wants to see that father-son duo on the fucking court.
Right.
So, like, I'm excited to see it, and you know, ticket sales is going to skyrocket.
And that's, I mean, I feel the same way, and I don't care about what they say about Bron did this and Bron did that. Whether he did it or not, Bronny did what he's supposed to do. He could have had a better college career if he didn't have that heart issue that we talked about season 1.
And I think a lot of people are scared that, you know, the health. Everybody kept bringing up his health and his health. I feel like LeBron, me personally, I feel like LeBron wouldn't put his son in a predicament if his health was at jeopardy.
Right,
you know?
Because now this is his job. So beforehand, it was insurance. You know, I'm under my dad's insurance, so I got to get this. Now he is working, so his job is going to pay to make sure he has the best insurance to make sure his health. He has the best doctors in the world. Of course, because of LeBron, he had that, but now he has it on his own merit. He's getting his own paycheck. He's making his own money. He has to go out there and stand on his own athletic ability. The Lakers won. The reason why the Lakers won is this. Jersey sales are going to go through the roof. Ticket sales are going to go through the roof. Every celebrity in the world is going to be there. They're going to want to see this. And how is it going to be on SportsCenter? Now, mind you, before I even go to my last little bit about this topic, when things don't go right, of course, the people see, I knew this was going to happen. You shouldn't have chose him. There's other people out here who are better, blah, blah, blah. What about the people who really bust their ass, who went after LeBron and Bronny just because of the namesake? But when it does come to fruition and you get that highlight, whereas though they both get in at the same time, the first time, so that's going to be all over SportsCenter. Then it's going to be a play to where as though Bron kicks it to his son for either a big shot or a game winner, and they're going to have that connection. Bron probably going to be crying, or it's going to be a fast break, and Bronny throws up an alley-oop to LeBron, and the shit is going to go nuts, and that's going to be posters and everything. So Lakers won. If Lakers acquire the other people, of course they can't get Klay Thompson because Klay Thompson went to Dallas. Shout out to Dallas now. But if the Lakers acquire somebody else, to which they want to, and they get to a place as though they doing very well in the season, they don't got to play in the play-in tournament, and they get to the playoffs, if the Lakers get there, they already won because of the positivity that came from the season when they didn't expect Bronny to do what they got to. If somehow, somewhere they go deep into the playoffs and Bronny is able to touch the floor in the playoffs to prove himself, then Lakers ultimately won and they did what they're supposed to do to create and continue the longevity of LeBron playing. But we will see. I'm not going to speak nothing into existence, but, you know, his merit and his work ethic is going to take him where he needs to be. And
absolutely,
as a fan of basketball, you got to be happy, because I know if I'm making all this crazy money and everything, and I was able to get my best friend or one of my close friends or my brother or somebody like that in the same arena as myself, and now we're both doing that, hell yeah, I'm putting my name on the line. Yeah. We need to do that. We're not crabs in the barrel, and that's the reason. That's what's wrong with the world, like you said.
And also, like, I also want to give a shout out to the WNBA. You know, like, the WNBA been packing out their arenas as well.
Yep.
So, like, shout out to them. Shout out to Angel Reese. Shout out to Caitlin. You know, everybody's doing their thing. But I also been hearing this chit chatter that, you know, although they're packing out stadiums, they're still not making money. So I don't understand the logistics of that per se. And you know, some of these contracts like 220,000. I'm still not, like, the pay gaps. Like, at least we need to be offering. Y'all not even offering $3 million. Like, come on. Like, so, I just feel like, and I get it. I get the logistics, but it's come on.
It's crazy.
The pay gaps is totally ridiculous, and especially now since they've been packing out these stadiums. Like, these contracts need to be
worked on,
because it's really ridiculous to be working your ass off for 220,000,
right? And
all they basing their income on is sponsorships,
right?
And brands. Like, that's not, to me, the brands and stuff. Yeah, that's supposed to be the extra, but you know, you want to be paid your worth. And again, it might not be the hundreds and the 200 millions, but these contracts should not be thousands. Like, we shouldn't be talking about thousands. Like, people need to start a conversation, need to be at least $1 million. Can y'all put $1 million on the table? Like,
what was crazy is, and I don't know who it will be, but if they watch this episode, this is what I feel is going to happen. Right. They've been talking about this forever. They talked about this in college, and what I believe that you were referencing to when you said, well, you don't feel as though athletes should get paid, but then you go out there and you play for USC and you're busting your ass and you're bringing in all this money. That's what the NIL, I believe, the contract where, you know, Bronny was in college and he got that money for his brand and his likeliness. I feel as though it's going to be somebody, hopefully it's LeBron to add to his legacy, but whoever the case may be, whether it's the players union, they're going to fight for the WNBA to get a higher contract. And it's going to be national, because the college one was on LeBron's platform uninterrupted, where they signed that so players and their likeliness can get paid specific amounts of money.
Right.
So I feel like Angel Reese, yes, she got the sponsors and all of that, and now Chanel's and the Gucci's and everybody throwing stuff at her because it's like Angel Reese is one of the biggest names. But I feel as though that should happen too, because in season 1 we talked about Liz came. Let's just leave it at that. And that was the one who was playing against the Nigerians, and they beat her up or whatever the case. And we was like, damn, where was her homies at?
Yeah.
Well, she signed with a team overseas for $1 million. She been in the WNBA killing for all of these years, but when I'm gonna be over here for playing for $240,000, when I'm one of the biggest names, when I go overseas, I'm gonna be dominating. And I'm getting $1 million.
Yeah.
So their worth is big. But to touch base on that, what you were talking about, Angel Reese played against Caitlin Clark, and in their normal arena, it was about 8,000 people. Well, they sold that out so much that they had to go play in the men's Indiana Pacers, the NBA league team. They had to go to their arena, and they sold out 19,000 seats.
That's amazing.
So exactly,
shout out to both of them.
Exactly. So because of this, they gotta understand. All right, we need to put some more. The bigger you make the WNBA grow, the more equality is gonna come. The more it's a bigger fan base for the young females. Because I know some female hoopers who nice, but they like, I'd rather mess with the dope boy who gonna make $200,000 in street. Rather than, go through the ups and downs of having to be a WNBA player. Then when your season is over, you working a job or got to do real estate or bottle service. So like you said, hopefully that conversation happens and, they push for that. But that was a good topic to segue into, with the equality and everything, taking accountability for, what we enjoy, which is females.
Absolutely.
And females, stepping up and doing what they're supposed to do to get that recognition. Like Taraji did last night, because she kept saying this about us. And when you pour into us, beautiful things happen. So let's segue into
the BET Awards. Now,
the BET Awards 2024.
BET, VH1, all the good shit. No, that's something back in the day. I don't think you know it. But the BET Awards, I'm sorry, Amira, I did not. I saw your text while I was at work, but I was like, I can't respond right now. And it was a lot going on. But I saw it, and to me, I want to be honest, and I know some people might say I'm a hater. I felt like I'm not a crazy fan of Taraji. Like, I just, I'm big on energy, and there's something about her aura that rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is, but it's the energy you pick up. But it's just I don't know what it is. Her as a host, I could have did without. I just felt like I'm all for Taraji, especially for like her getting paid her worth. She spoke about that during The Color Purple and stuff like that. Like, I'm all for that. And I'm all for her, being a great businesswoman and things like that. I just feel like her hosting things is just like, to me, it's just not, I don't really feel like she is the person that they should have, hired to host. Like, I miss, like, dang, was Monique not able to do the show? Can we get like, I felt like there was a time where we was waiting for the host, like for them to announce the host. And I felt like, it's like the safe way is just like, we'll get Taraji. And it's like, where's the comedian part of it? And then she did the, They Not Like Us. She did like a remix to it.
That's your song, the parody.
I barely heard anything she was saying. It was just a lot going on, and it fell flat for me. And there were some transitions, and this probably wasn't on her part, but there were some transitions where it went from talking about voting and her being serious, where you could tell she was acting. And then it went into, all right, our next performer. And I'm like, how did we get so heartfelt to our next performer? Like, the transitions was just weird to me. Overall, I think a lot of people came with the heat with the performances. I would say a highlight of so far, and even like Victoria Monet really murdered her performance. I want to say it was a lot of, the crazy thing, female rappers actually took over the damn BET Awards.
It was about females this year.
Yeah, it was about females this year. Shout out to all the females. Sexy Red, like, I don't know what it was, but the authenticity of the Sexy Red, it's just like, she is dead ass serious. She was singing, ooh, like, and this shit was just so funny. And so I like how her vibe of the show was, and bow, 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 and not to mention the whole crowd would, nah. Yo, everybody went wild, and it was like, yeah, this is like, so Sexy Red did great. Ice Spice Lotto, like Megan did great as well. Even though Megan opened the show, she did great. But the music to me wasn't hitting. You know how the music is not hitting, but she's doing everything right. But the music is just like, like I could do without this song. But she came with the heat. I wouldn't have her, like, just looking at all the performances, like, I was kind of shocked that why Doja Cat didn't perform. I would rather her open up the award show because I felt like she's a performer. And the crazy thing, I don't think Doja Cat has ever performed at the BET Awards. I do have some, Lauryn Hill did well as well. Lauryn Hill, though, the first song she did was, I really enjoyed that song. I tried to Shazam the song, but couldn't get the song. So I'm like, maybe this was an unreleased song, and I love that song so far. Her performance was great. YG Marley, who is her son as well, did amazing as well. So I just like the whole vibe of the awards. To me, everybody came with the fire. Like, it wasn't like, all right, I could have did without this performance. Like, everybody came with the heat, but sometimes the music was lackluster, but everybody put 100% on that stage, which I enjoy, which will usher into the Usher segment. I'm going to be honest. The best part of Usher tribute for me was Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet. Which is why I understand why they saved that for last. It was great. I love Keke Palmer. Me personally, Keke Palmer, the dance moves, everything was cool, but I just felt like I wanted more of a singer up there, and I don't know. I'm like, it's Usher, like, and I get it. Like, it would have been nice to have Keke Palmer in a segment, but I just felt like Keke Palmer's segment was very long, and I just felt like, dang, like, could we have somebody else up there? Tinashe too, like, it's 7:00. I'm just like, me personally, the vocals was not there. It was very safe. The dancing was great. But it was just like, we had a lot of safe singers up there, and it's like, I was kind of, and we had Lotto. No offense, Lotto. I'm just saying, like, I didn't need you up there singing Luda, Chris Park. Why Luda wasn't there? I was just like, come on, like, I get it. It felt like more of a woman tribute, and we had Danny Glover opening up. But I just also felt like Danny Glover, I love
Donald Glover.
Childish
Gambino.
Childish Gambino. Danny Glover. He opened up the performance, and it was kind of mellow. But I just felt like with Usher, he's a vocalist. Like, I needed a vocalist up there who really put in their all. Like, I just like, Danny Glover's gonna give you that soft spoken, and he does great at it. He does great at it. But it wasn't hitting for me. It wasn't hitting for me. Was Luke James' book? Was Tink book? Like, Tink was there. Why? Like, no, like, we ain't had nobody just giving you that feeling like that will bring you in. Like, it was no guys up there besides Danny Glover, and I just felt like, granted, I know Chris Brown and Usher had some conflict going on, but it's not. I'm sure. I am 100% sure that Chris Brown would have said, "Yo, regardless on our situation, you a legend. I'm gonna perform for you. Fuck all that drama shit. I'm gonna put my shit to a side, because there's no way how BET was when Chris Brown was blackballed. Let's talk about it. When Chris Brown was blackballed, there's no way when BET was the main people pushing Chris Brown and getting him back on his feet and stuff like that for y'all to blackball him again.
Right.
You know, and I just felt like Chris Brown would have been the ultimate person up there giving 110%. I just felt like I felt like for Usher, like Coco Jones, she did good too. I ain't gonna lie, I love Coco Jones. She was a little choppy. She was a little choppy at some parts, but I just also felt like she felt a little uncomfortable doing the, freaky stuff. But I do like in what she did a great job of going to Usher's wife first and then Usher. Like I felt like she played that Usher thing where he do at his Vegas. Coco Jones did the same thing, and I like how Usher was like, oh, when she got Usher up, she was like, he looked at his wife like, is it okay? Like, you could tell Usher is just well deserving of the Lifetime Achievement Award. This boy had a 13-minute speech. BET cut a lot of his speech off because I was watching it live. Because, Usher, like said, I was giving the real. He was saying shit, all that shit. So, BET got cut a lot of that stuff out because they gonna get fined. But Usher poured his heart out on that stage about being a father. A lot of people turned on him. He had rough patches. And we all know, I'm not going to bring the rough patch up, but we all know about that rough patch in his life that was going on. He also brought up his ex-wife and saying, I'm working, I'm trying. Meaning, I felt like he's trying, like he got a new wife. He is trying to make everybody, because he did a shout out to Switch. I like how he did that. He did that shout out to Swiss Beats, his ex-wife, and Alicia Keys, and how they all is just one big family. So I know there's a little conflict that's going on in that family without saying much, because he even shouted out, like, he shouted out his ex-wife and just like, I'm trying, I'm doing my best. Like, so shout out to Usher. Like, Usher is well deserving of that award. I just feel like his tribute could have been much stronger. I'm not too sure if Usher picked those individuals. He did. He talks about Victoria Monet. Tiana Teller performed. Oh, Marsha Ambrosius definitely performed as well. She was also pitchy. And I just felt like Usher deserved, no offense, I just feel like Usher deserves way more. And what some people was putting on that stage, it was like, Usher, yeah, he's a dancer, but he's a vocalist too. Like, so the fact that no vocalist was up there, like really singing besides Coco Jones that had really much of a voice. And some people were singing, like even Chloe. Chloe, to me, felt like she was lip singing. Like I don't like. Even shout out to October London, because I like October London. But even October London on a pre-show was singing. It was lip singing. I don't know what's going on with singers lip singing songs. If you're gonna sing. But I do want to talk about one thing before I let you speak on the BET Awards. Best New Artist. I literally thought Sexy Red was going to win Best New Artist. And I don't Tyla won. I'm not hating on it. I just felt like Sexy Red had a bigger year.
Exactly.
And we basing, and this is the thing about the awards. They base everything on one song. Like, I feel like Tyla does have other good songs, but people say, oh, but she's international. Yeah, she's international. But from my understanding, she's not selling out tickets in the US. So how international can you be? No offense, Tyla. If Burna Boy can sell out tickets, WizKid can sell out tickets in the US and you're not selling out the TLA or the what's that other
Wells Fargo.
No, the Fillmore, then we can't really call you an international. Like you're international over there, but you're not international over here. So I just feel like the BET Awards was also like doing things that the Grammys did. Like it was just like, come on. Also, another award, and again, I like Kendrick Lamar, but also I don't think Kendrick Lamar should have won Best Hip Hop. So it's like it's like, are we basing Kendrick Lamar on based off they ain't like us? Like, come on. Who should have went to? I'm gonna be honest. I would have gave it to 21 Savage or Drake. Me personally. You know, I'm just talking about people that's been putting in the work and being consistent, and we're basing the awards based off the previous year, right? Also, another thing which I love his speech. I listened to the album. The album wasn't for me. Killer Mike album. He won Album of the Year, right? I also felt like BET looks at things from the Grammys and be like, oh yeah, we're going to make do the same situation, just like Killer Mike. I don't know who's on these voting boards or anything like that. And I'm not saying he's undeserving of it, because from what I heard, he's been putting in work for years and years and is a big influential person within, you know, the community, and putting in the work in the community as well. So shout out to Killer Mike. Also a great speech up there and just giving back. And like he said, you might not know me, you might not like me, you know, and you might ask, who is this guy, you know, or somebody else was deserving of it, but he put in the work. And I can't hate on that. You know, I can't hate on somebody that really is not, who's been putting in the work, consistency, and probably I don't think he should have won, but you know, yeah, the album wasn't for me, but there was a lot of people that loved the album, so I can't hate on that.
Right.
But I don't think, you know, Album of the Year, I don't know if I would have chose him for Album of the Year. And this is my last thing. Again, I like Usher. I'm gonna be honest, I like Usher, but I don't think he should have won Best Male R&B Pop Artist. I would have gave that, and I'm just being right. I would have gave it to Chris Brown, but I felt like they only gave it to Usher because he's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award and stuff like that. So I get the politics in music, but I felt like Chris Brown had a bigger year than a lot of the artists that was presented. And shout out to Victoria Monet. She also got the video of the year, and she also won the BET Her Award. So shout out to Victoria Monet. And the video of the year, that video on My Mama was a great video. And I like where it's not, because some people do video of the year and they just give it to it based off the song. The video was actually, she put 110% in that video. So shout out to Victoria. And I think the last one I'm gonna do is, best collaboration went to J. Cole and Lil Durk, All My Life. I like that record. It was a dope record, and it was he was, to be honest, a lot of people on that record I met on the nominees were pretty good. Best female hip hop went to Nicki Minaj,
as it should.
Which in general, that category, it had Cardi B, it had Ice Spice, it had Lotto, it had
Glow, right?
Glorilla. It's a lot of females out here doing their thing. You know, again, I would have gave Best New Artist to Sexy Red, and Best Hip Hop definitely should have went to be honest, I'm gonna be honest. It could have went to Nicki. It could have went to Sexy Red. I would have been fine with either of those two because you can see the consistency in those two artists. So shout out to Nicki. And last one more thing. You know your girl allegedly is pregnant.
Who?
Cardi B.
She better not be.
She is definitely pregnant. I literally looked at the video of her performing. Her stomach is literally, she is pregnant.
By who?
And
Offset?
Offset. Yeah. What she said, I turned Offset on. She is pregnant with her third child, which congratulations. We ahead of the curve. So congratulations, Cardi B. And like you said on Twitter, your album is definitely coming out this year. So we're looking forward to that. So, and you said no matter what, your album is coming out this year. So we're looking forward to your album. Shout out to the BET Awards. And that was my take on the BET Awards. What was your take?
So my take, and I'm going, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I watched the highlights. So I'm going to, just run through it really quickly. BET Awards came on. So as you stated, in the past, it was something you look forward to. It was the host, and it was the host leading up to all of these skits and everything to let you know the host was coming. So you built up anticipation. The safe way would have been a Kevin Hart or a comedian, but do we really have comedians nowadays, or are they too busy on the political aspect of it to say, oh, they got to stand for something? So them picking Taraji, when I found out it was Taraji, it didn't excite me, but it was like, okay, it's Taraji.
Right.
I find certain spots in watching Taraji to say, okay, and this part I enjoyed, this part is like, So I get where you're coming from, because that's the same way with Kevin Hart. I could watch a whole Kevin Hart movie, and he could do one thing, and I will laugh my ass off like, yo, Kevin Hart is crazy. But then a lot of stuff he do, I'll be like, he's not funny.
Yeah.
But Kevin Hart is a funny person in general. So with the BET Awards, when Taraji did that, all I first saw was her with the hoodie on. So I'm like, here we go with this Kendrick. If I'm not done listening to They Not Like Us.
They killing that.
Right. Then I heard her words and everything that she was saying about the money and all that. So I'm like, if she wrote this, that's dope. For her to write those lyrics and how she performed it and everything and brought everybody into it female-wise, I'm like, because of that stand, you knew the direction that the BET Awards was going. A woman empowering show. And that's exactly what it was. And it was dope to me for that. For so many reasons. Performance-wise, Meg the Stallion, and we talked about this when she first came out with that song, when she was spreading the skin and all that after the party and everything. I like that song because of the something is depressed. I'm not gonna say what it is, but because of her vulnerability. So it actually made me a Megan fan now. So she did well for me with that. But the opening act, that was cool. What she destroyed on was Wannabe.
Yeah.
And with Glorilla, like
I forgot
Glorilla came
about
out,
Glorilla.
she came out, and I'm like, okay, Glow, I get it. But Glow was in a parachute, like she's saying. But Glow was fading on the song because I'm like, when is she gonna really put her deep Cuban on Cuban? Like
I felt like she was dancing too much and she couldn't.
Exactly. But Meg came out, because when Meg came out with that varsity jacket on through the college dorm frat house, Meg destroyed that. And she elevated that song and that performance so much better.
What I thought was going to happen, Cardi would have been the
so
last
did I.
one.
So did I.
I'm like, that would have been perfect.
So did I.
Bring Cardi out. That would have been perfect.
I was waiting for Cardi to come out too, but I was happy because Meg destroyed it.
Right.
Who else? Lauryn Hill. You know I'm the biggest fan in the world of Lauryn Hill, so I appreciated the Lauryn Hill one. Who else performed? Because I watched everyone. Now, Lotto, her own Sunday service joint, that was okay.
Yeah.
Shabuzi and all of them, that was okay when he brought out Jaquan Tipsy. That was decent.
I like how they bridged the gap with, I forgot about that, country, hip hop, and how they were going back and forth.
Shout out to Beyonce, because she won for Texas Hold'em.
She did win, but also I hate when a lot of people say, shout out to, like, Beyonce, help these artists elevate, but I hate to be hanging on, like, because I know they get tired of it. It's like, oh, Beyonce put, it's like, all right, yeah, I worked Beyonce on her album, but this is my song. Like, let's keep And yes, Beyonce made them popular, but to just be saying just Beyonce,
Right.
as in just like presenting them, it's like, all right, we get it. Like, don't present me like that, because I'm not in Beyonce's shadow.
Right. This is their category.
Right.
Now, we've fronted on country for so long. You
Yeah.
had Snoop there, you had Nelly there, you had Keisha K. Michelle there, Cisco went there, and we all laughed at them. Oh, they going to country. Beyonce went. Now it is bringing spotlight to it. Now Beyonce did what she had to do. She stepped away, whatever the case may be. But I wouldn't have known about Shabuzi or the other young lady whose name began with a T, Tanella or something, if it wasn't for me saying, okay, well, everybody talking about the Beyonce country. Let me listen to other people.
Right.
So shout out to the whole country genre.
And they had and BT did a great job with the diversity of just Black music.
Correct.
Not just R&B, not just hip hop. It was country. It was gospel, a little bit of this, a little, and I felt like everything was just like well orchestrated. This is probably one of the best BET awards
transition wise between everything.
Yes.
My favorite performance, of course, and I used to call her Young Thug. So Sexy Red probably hates me, and she will never give kudos to this episode or this podcast. But I used to say she does look like Young Thug. But I'm finding more and more and more of an allure for Sexy Red because of, like, she's genuine. She is the ambassador for hood rap. And when her song came on and she was singing, I was laughing because I'm just thinking. But then when she changed Sexy for President, and to see, like you said, everybody in the stands going, I ain't lying, no. Like, yo, everybody went crazy. She had her Prada American cups on, and Sexy Red was just being Sexy Red. She didn't care about nothing. She wasn't trying to be fake, and she just was doing her normal faces and all of that type of stuff, just being typical sexy. And that was one of the best performances. Now, the Usher performance, now his speech was amazing. He touched base on his father, being the male figure, people talking shit, the motherfuckers, his support system and everything, and how everybody turned their back on him and gave him this and that. But at the end of the day, you got 30 years in. You did what you're supposed to do.
What did he say? The last, like, the main thing that stuck with me, I forgive you.
Right.
There's no hate in my heart. I forgive you.
Because that's Usher.
Yeah.
The performance wise, out of everybody, performance wise, my favorite part was Childish Gambino. I do like Childish Gambino. I like his singing. Keke Palmer, I only think he did it because of the controversy that they went through. That's why she was put in there. I'm not saying Usher did it, but of course, Keke, you got to do something. Because her performance was mid. Like, she didn't really give it to me. I thought Coco would have really elevated. And at some points, I'm like, oh, there you could hear Coco's voice. But as you said, it could have been different people. If we were going to go with a female-led base for the Usher tribute, I would have picked these two people. One is a male, and I would have been completely cool with this because they would have hit those Usher notes to give you a chill. I would have chose Gideon for 2 or 3 songs for Usher.
Gideon.
Giveon.
Space
the fuck out. I apologize.
Space the fuck out.
Giveon. I would have chose him,
I
would have chose Jasmine Sullivan to hit those notes, to take it for the You Don't Have to Call, the You Got It Bad, the Confessions. I would have chose them to really elevate the song. Lotto, she was adding Lotto into the verse and everything for you should have brought, if that was the case, Little John and Ludacris out.
And this is my thing, and I understand where we're bridging the gap to the artists that Usher paved the way for, but I'm gonna be honest, there's no reason why we should be having and I feel like a lot of people be feeling like, and this goes for, and I like Beyonce, like, I'm a Beyonce fan, but I just felt like Beyonce should have been there, like, in terms of, like, people, or if you're not gonna be there, be in his message up there. I just felt like this man put in so much work, and to have, like, I just felt like Beyonce could have been there. Jay-Z could have been there. Like, people that, like, Usher been around, Mariah Carey. It's just like, I just feel like if we're going to do a tribute, let's do it the right way. And regardless of the situation, like, we could put our differences to the side to give him a performance. Like, I haven't seen, Chris Brown has to perform on a fucking award show in freaking years because he's saying he is blackballed from just performing, which is, I think, is wild, because he's one of the, and like I say, we critique Chris Brown when we talk about his music and how it's just too many songs and how he just like, for us as a consumer trying to consume music, I don't want 40 songs, but he's a great performer. And we've been getting great reviews from his 11/11 tour. He's been putting in the work. And I've been seeing clips. He's putting in the work, you know, and he loves his fucking fans, even though they paying $1,000, but he does whatever they want. You know, shout out to Chris Brown.
I feel
But
like
I just felt like
this, yeah,
we could have had Chris Brown. We could have kept the Tiana and the Victoria Monet. Me personally, I would have, you know, it would have been nice for a Jasmine Sullivan. I would have picked a Luke Jeans. It could have been. I just felt like it was all females, one male.
right.
And I'm all for female empowerment and all that. I just felt like it could have been. You could have gave us
Some diversity.
It's
a little bit different.
some balance.
Yep. I mean, I feel the same way. All in all, BET Awards was entertaining.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. It went in a good direction. It built up anticipation for next year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who's the next Lifetime Award? And I feel like they can grow from this. His residency is coming back, and a lot of awards were ushered to specific people due to right now. Tyla, she wasn't better than Sexy Red, but once again, social media and the impact that it had on TikTok with Water. You the one who put me on Water.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? That song was huge. So because of that, it was like, okay, was it bigger than Sexy Red, who is the ambassador for the Ratchets? Do we want everybody up here twerking, or we rather somebody twerk with a little bit of water because she Caribbean and she seems nice and quiet?
I hate the whole like cookie cutter, like
the world we live in, basically.
Yeah, and I just felt like with the people that was presented, I was like, it's no way Sexy Red coming up here with the people of was it In Living Single or I forgot the crew that was up there, but there's no way they presenting on Word and Sexy Red coming up here.
Right. You could
no way.
Just tell.
You could just tell, just based off the people you had presenting on Word. Like, and I just felt like Tyla is just like I'm not taking any credit from her, but if she can't sell out small arenas in the United States, then no.
Right. So
that's my take.
BET Awards was amazing. The sports aspect was good. You know, we predicated this show based off of AAA.
Right.
Anguish, accountability, and affirmations. And for the sake of time, we're going to take this to our polls. We're going to go on to our platforms. This was a great video to which we might, you know, have to do a two-parter, or we might go live. Speaking of live, the Space the Fuck Out moment of the week was us doing our own verses. Shout out to Versus Swiss Beats and Timbaland. They just signed a contract with X and got it back to going, and they're gonna start verses again. So we wanted to do our own verses, where we chose 4 different categories, 5 songs from each category: old school R&B, rap, hip hop, and pop. And we had to go and compete with each other, and we did the verses. Him at home, me at home. We set up in our own little areas, and we went back and forth going over the songs that we liked and we chose to try to say, you know, for everybody else to vote. So we had a lot of people tuning in. They was commenting, oh, that's Mr. Baker. Oh, that's Mr. Young, blah, 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 blah. Well, we got shut down multiple times by Instagram because they said
copyright.
But my thing is this. If I buy a CD or if I pay money to purchase a song, do I not own that, right? For me personally, I do own that.
Right.
That's what I'm confused about.
You own the album.
I own a portion of it, a small portion. Who you chose? Katy Perry and Taylor Swift are not going to be knocking on my door, sending a cease and deliver or whatever the hell it's called. They're not cease and desist. They're not going to reach out to me to say, hey, on your Instagram Live, for the 29 people that was following you, you played my song and I feel as though you owe me money. What they going to get?
On top of them letting us put music in our Instagram stories
all the time, nonstop. So I didn't get it, but that was the Space to Fuck Out moment.
Only playing, like, we even got to the point
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds
and y'all
of a song.
Still cut us off. Like, Instagram, come on.
But like, it's cool. It is what it is. So because of that, the whole point that I was trying to make is that when it comes to anguish, accountability, and affirmations, we could spend 5 hours. And
Maybe if we say, I do not own copyrights to this song.
we could try to do that. And then they're going to shut us down again because it's
We
us.
could try.
Right.
But I see a lot of people do I do not own copyrights to this song. So maybe that will help.
Well, we'll see.
We'll try.
So we can, finish the rest of them. But like I said, for the sake of time and everything, as we're coming back home from third base, we just want to touch base on those 3 topics. Anguish, you might be going through some anguish right now. And I know the ups and downs that we faced, the hardships, whether it was from family, the lack of a father figure or a presence or a mother, brother, sister, cousin, or somebody to love on us being there, that could lead to our anguish. Accountability comes from looking in the mirror, being a man, and accepting your flaws and learning how to deal with it and get over it. And I'll tell you one thing, I can be accountable for all the bullshit that I do, and I'll apologize a million times, and I'm prayerful, and I'll pray over and for a person, but I know accountability within myself is difficult because I am stubborn. As an Aquarius, I always got to say, but I wouldn't have did this and I wouldn't have this. I always have a response for something. So I have to learn accountability at this 4th decade of my life. But the affirmations, I've learned that from books and hoops, and I will always affirm another person because that's what Aquarius do. Let alone that's what we do for each other. Affirmation comes easy, and when we're on our platform, when we're talking about this, we'll go over some things to which we can go live again, or we'll have something brewing to where we can touch base more on this, where it's just not predicated off of what we enjoy. But this episode, I enjoyed it because we touched base on everything that we felt comfortable about, we felt great about, and the BET Awards just happened yesterday. That's the quickest relevance that we had to a show ever, right within 24 hours. And I appreciate the Philly Podcast Space for having us here. We have way more insights on this. So once you watch this, put some comments in, go to our Instagram page. We're going to be putting up 1,000 polls. So go like, comment, and subscribe. As we always say, fuck with your boys. We need the sponsors. We need to continuously grow. Look forward to the Space the Fuck Out presents the first ever Put the Guns Down and Have Some Fun softball game that we're getting ready for.
Go ahead.
Oh, and ultimately just, interact, engage, continue to help us get to a platform and a presence whereas though we can offer much more to the world, let alone the city of Philadelphia. And shout out to all the kids. I miss y'all. Look forward to seeing y'all. And to my 8th graders that's going to different schools, I will miss y'all for sure.
And usually we do this in the beginning of the video, but it's been a lot going on. Shout out to Engineer by Dre. We do have 2 of his shirts on currently right now. And it's funny. We both have the same shirts. So like he has the assistant, my boy Gary, has this shirt as well, and I have that shirt as well. So shout out to Engineer by Dre, and which is dope about this shirt, which he'll show you yours as well. It's like you see it on the camera.
Yeah, you good. You good.
I only want to work with friends, which is dope, And shout out to Call Me 1-800. These are jeans by him. And again, these are fly. I don't care. Like, these are fly. And I bought it when it was very cheap. So and again, I know he be going off on, it's not going off, but he be on Instagram was like, oh, pay me my worth. And I'm gonna be honest, I love you, man. I love you and I love your work. I just do not have 300, 400 to pay for a pair of jeans, You got to work with me. He did kind of work with me last time, but I got caught up in certain things. So, I do want another pair of your jeans. Maybe we could work something out. I'll hit you up in the DMs and I'll tag you. So we'll go from there. And I got the Jordans. I don't have the mochas on today. And the crazy thing is, where this stain is from? One of my kids was oh no. Oh, I know where this stain is from. This is from when I was in Baltimore eating something. I think me my friend Eddie and my friend Jay and Gladys was at this bar and somebody ate something. Oh, I ate something and it just spilled out. I was pissed.
Well, he need to clean his damn sneakers.
These are still clean. I barely wear these. Like it's just that stain. I'm gonna get it clean. But yeah. Let's go over your outfit because
Engineered by Dre. This is the second time I wore. The very first episode it said "Pardon me."
Yeah.
I feel like an artist when I get dressed. We both have that same.
Yeah, we both got
the
same shirt too.
But this one, is, as you'll see,
sponsor.
Engineered by Dre, sponsor us.
Engineered by Dre, literally sponsor us. Like we have so much of your clothes that it's like we love. And the next thing is the bag.
Right. Mine is all about, cancer, cancer. And once we do our videos and everything for this episode, you'll see it more clear for the both of us. But mine's to say, I only want to save the boobs for the breast cancer. So I got on the pink. I matched them.
You got to show them.
I will. I matched this with the Powerpuff Dunks, as you can see. Shout out to Nike. Love y'all. And of course, Hudson jeans. Always rocking Hudson jeans. I wish I could be a sponsor. I wish they could sponsor us.
Yeah.
Gold. Listen, we talked about gold in the Instagram. We put y'all on the post. And y'all been liking us and following. So gold, send us something. But that's basically it. Simple.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, listen. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the patience from everybody who's here working with us, Philly Podcast Space and everything. Check them out. Their Instagram link will be in our page, in our bio, as well as everything leading up to this episode. SMARTIANS, we appreciate y'all. There's nothing else more I could say. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Fuck with your boys, and make sure you tune in. Please leave some comments and all of that type of stuff. I don't care what you're talking about. We just want to engage with you, and look forward to episode 5 coming out. We might do the guest then. If not,
we might do the guest.
Yeah, we might do the guest.
We'll talk.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll let y'all know.
We'll probably put a different perspective up here, so it's not just us two.
Right. But appreciate y'all. Thank y'all once again. Don't forget ABL Catering Services, our main sponsor. Check her page out and get all your meal preps and your sponsoring done. Happy 1st of July, because this is a big day. It's the beginning, 6 months until the end of the new year. So make that change. Change equals growth. And the 4th of July is coming up this week. Please be safe in this city. Enjoy your 4th of July. And we love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
They don't appreciate
Thank you.
me.